What's going on, guys? Going to do another live Q&A. That's what I love to do. Down here in the office, crushing some work. Prepped up for the week, most of the week at least. Got the workouts organized, planned at the Underground Strength Gym. And at my gym, I use a software called Wodify. So I'm able to program the workouts. We could track the workouts. And it's good, man, because I'm not a Excel guy, so it helps me get rid of basically the Excel stuff and tracking stuff through pen and paper. That actually does not make things easier. So anytime I want to go back and see what an athlete did, or we're focused on breaking a record that day, we just pull up the numbers on that exercise. And if an athlete's been training with me for 2 years, we could track and look back and see, hey, this is where you used to be. This is what you've done recently. Here's the goal you should set for today. So got that stuff going on. Tomorrow, back at Rutgers. And got to keep attacking, guys. Just posted something on Twitter saying that, like, the ultimate way to get nothing done is to try to do everything yourself. Yet on the flip side, when you are a one-man army, then your only option is to bulldoze everything that stands in your way. So I do a lot of the stuff on my own. And you know what? I'm realizing that, like, maybe that is my path. Maybe that is the best way for me. So giving a lot of food for thought on the future of the Underground Strength Gym, what it will evolve into, as well as what direction I may end up taking as a strength coach and a coach in general. Here's something interesting. Then we'll get into questions with you guys. Is we get so focused on chasing goals, achieving goals, doing certain things, getting to certain places, that we forget to just be happy in the now. And I always get reminded of that stuff when I get sick, because it's really a sign of me getting run down. So anyway, guys, let's take some questions. Move these lights out of the way. Probably a little bit too dark, but let's get some questions going, guys. And see how I can help everybody. Whew, that light is pretty bright. This is what we'll do. Boom. This should work a little bit better. Okay, guys, post up any questions you guys have. Could be training, business stuff, mindset stuff. Any questions you guys want me to answer will be great. Let's see if I missed any questions already. What was the name of the word program? It's not a word program. It's called Wodify, I guess, like Shopify. So Wodify allows me to basically manage the gym without me being a manager type person. So it's got the software that does the billing, tracks the workouts, all that stuff. So it's powerful. I love it. What supplements do you recommend for athletes? First and foremost, whole foods. Something I'm going to get into. I actually had a exchange with Dr. Andy Galpin. I'm going to talk to him about the change in young athletes that I've seen. Some athletes, I'll work with them for 2 years, and because they refuse to change their nutrition, I've got 16, 17-year-old athletes, 15-year-olds who look like they spend their every other night in a bar. They've got boobs, they've got beer bellies, and they just cannot put on the muscle. And really, it's all the processed shit. And I'm just wondering if all this processed food is somehow doing something to their actual genetic biology, like if it's actually putting up a wall to what they're capable of achieving. So it's really intriguing to me, and I want to get him on the Strong Life podcast. So I'm going to reach out to him after this. So the supplements, if anything, I just say get a good protein, get a good whey protein, because a lot of our kids travel from sport to the gym. They're skipping meals. They're missing breakfast. They're buying the school lunch instead of packing their own lunch. And really, I'm seeing two ends of the spectrum. Kids that look like they're just not well fed, and kids that look like they don't even, they just eat everything that's in a box or in a wrapper or some sort of fabricated processed stuff. Oh, Nick, what's up? Thanks for all you do to educate us coaches. Discipline, some people have it, many don't. In your opinion, can it be taught, or is it something you're born with? I don't think it's something you're born with. I mean, there might be bits and pieces of it, but it's pretty interesting how some people don't care about, you know, even getting improving. Forget about winning. It's like they just don't care if they're improving. I speak also to parents, so it starts from the top down. So I've spoken to some parents, and they'll say, hey, you know, what do you got going on this weekend? Da-da-dum. And I'm like, taking my kids to this and that sport. It's an hour away here, 45 there. Like, no way, man. On the weekends, we don't do anything. I'm not signing up for that thing because it requires my time on the weekend, which is pretty much like saying, hey, man, fuck that. I'm not putting in time for my kid. And some kids just, they really resist it. And it's really the human food chain. It's, I always say, I want everybody to be successful. I want to win so bad. Like, I want it so bad. But is it realistic for everybody to win? I'd like to see people just, you know, achieving more because everybody's capable of more. I don't think it's really something you're born with. I really think your environment shapes you. Some people resist that environment. What is your go-to neck exercises other than neck bridges? I don't really prescribe direct neck work. Our wrestlers, their necks get big from wrestling and strong because it's getting pulled on and pushed on from all different angles. Their traps, you know, doing all the cleans and the deadlifts and the carries tend to build up the neck as well. But you could certainly go with an old school neck harness. And if you look at what some of the boxers, I don't know if they still do it, but they would just hang their head off of a bench and just do like neck crunches, neck circles, put a towel on the head and just do neck crunches with, you know, a 25-pound plate. A lot of simple stuff. So Mike Bruce would probably be your go-to guy. If you want to Google neck training, just type in Mike Bruce. See if I got any questions here. Any more questions that I missed? Nick, you got it, my man. And Nick, listen, dude, I'm with you because I've worked with kids for 3-4 years, and they just don't come through. And it's like, man, it's like a bad reflection. It makes you look bad because they never follow through on anything, and they just keep showing up to train, and you just want to just, you know, I do tell them, I'm like, dude, you just don't want it. You know, that's really what it comes down to. And that's the tough thing. I see some of the, you know, the coaches that tend to be financially successful, that have a lot of members, they disassociate the results of their clients with how good they are, meaning we can't control everybody. We're giving them the tools. We're inviting them to take action. We're inviting them to follow through on the nutrition, the training, the whole lifestyle. And if they choose not to do it 100%, 75%, 50%, they just let it go. They don't let it slow them down. But I'm such a passionate person. It slows me down. It frustrates me. And it really makes me think twice just about all this coaching stuff, man. It's pretty frustrating. Okay, so any other questions, guys? What other questions we got? Checking to see if I missed anybody's questions. Also, you know, it's good to see sometimes we have coaches, sometimes we have athletes, younger athletes. So all questions are good. I always say you should always have questions. You should question everything as a coach, as a parent. You should always be trying to just learn more. And, you know, you guys, the phone is propped up now, and my eyes keep glancing over to all these books that I've got, and I'm just saying to myself, man, there's so much to learn. There's so much to go back and keep reading. What book am I going to read tonight? Zay West saying, recently I see more and more coaches incorporating scientific tools to kind of take the guesswork out of training. Tender units, force, velocity. What is your take on this? I think you have to be able to blend, the scientific training tools with the practicality, with learning the human being and the human body. So at Rutgers, we're using the Sparta scan, and it's given us insight into what could be some of the areas that might be needing to be addressed mobility-wise: unilateral strength, posterior strength, anterior mobility, posterior mobility. And from that, I'm blending, what does that athlete need mentally, emotionally, psychologically? What does that athlete need to help him succeed? And I have to study his wrestling matches and essentially look at, like, when does this athlete lose? What positions does he lose in? And also, it really depends on the coaches. I'm more of a art of coaching kind of guy, where I learn the athlete. I learn to connect with the athlete on a deeper level and try to find my way into their brain, into their thought system, and get them to believe into the training, to get them to believe in all of the preparation. Because ultimately what we've seen is, like, a lot of these high-performing athletes, they tend to follow, really the basic exercises. They're squatting, they're cleaning, they're doing unilateral lower body work. They're great at calisthenics. They sprint, they jump, they have good mobility, they have good stability. So there's kind of these, I guess, like, success leaves clues on what are some of these traits, these physical traits and emotional traits these athletes have. So there's things that you kind of know are going to work. And we have to be able to blend the two of them. And I think what's important also is, with more and more technology coming out, we have to be careful of getting away from listening to the athlete, because the science or the technology might say X, but that athlete responds, to Z. Okay, so food for thought. Avenger Strength says, would you rather be most influential athlete of all time, or most influential? What would I rather be? Would I rather be the most influential athlete or coach of all time? Thought it would be something different for you to answer. As a coach, I don't really care to get recognition really at all. I just want to train as many athletes as possible. But I think being able to influence the world in any shape or form, I wouldn't care if I'm a coach or an athlete. But to me, what I'd like to see is more people having a driven work ethic. And so whatever platform I'm on, it doesn't really matter. So meaning, I see so many people, they just fear the work. And really that work is kind of like, it's the bricks. It's the foundation to allow you to build this beautiful house, this beautiful home. And I see the potential in everybody. And it's not easy, even for me, trying to grow the business, trying to grow the Underground Strength Gym. It's constant work. And if I just slightly slow down on that work, then I'm destroying potential to influence and inspire other people to go for it. So I don't care what platform I'm on, coach or athlete. I don't think it really matters. And there's been a lot of, I've got books from coaches on that bookshelf, as well as books from athletes. I think any story of overcoming obstacles, it doesn't matter, coach or athlete. I mean, a lot of great books here. A lot of great books. Do you recommend any bicep curls? Yeah, we do a lot of them. We do thick bar curls, we do kettlebell hammer curls, we do all kinds of dumbbell curls, we do regular barbell curls, we do high reps, we do low reps, we do heavyweight, we do lightweight, we utilize towels to put around a barbell for a thick grip, ropes or towels in between kettlebells for those kind of curling motions. We do a lot of curls. I think also just letting the athletes finish with arm work where their arms are pumped. They feel great about the workout, and it's like there's a psychological aspect behind that. So that's also, I'll throw in 2 sets of biceps and triceps at the end of like a lower body focus day. So the guys feel the pump, and it's amazing if you could get them to leave that workout just feeling excited about that. That's a plus right there. you know, a lot of sports success is, you know, emotional and mental and psychologically driven. So I'm always trying to connect with the mindset of an athlete. Good questions. What else you guys got? Anything else? Take one more question maybe. And I think what I'm going to do is when I post these up on YouTube, I'm able to pull the audio and put them up on the Strong Life podcast. Okay, Brad says, in your words, what does "you must earn the right to trust your gut" mean to you? I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard that, but trust your gut instincts means this. And that's how I'm going to look at it. You know, trusting your gut instincts. If you have a feeling about something, right? And maybe the majority of people are like, I wouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. But your gut instincts, your heart, this kind of your being is telling you this is the path, this is the road to take, then you've got to go with it because I feel it will eat you alive. Oh, wow, Untu from Italy, thank you so much. That is really cool to have some people watching from all around the world. When I see that, it really excites me about the power of the internet. And I really like that, man. Thank you so much, brother. So yeah, trust your gut instincts. You know, my gut instincts tell me a certain thing right now with regards to the direction I'm taking as a strength coach, as a coach in general, as a teacher, what direction I'm going to take with the Underground Strength Gym, with the online business. And my gut instinct told me something totally different, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. Number one recommended book for a college athlete. Man, a book for a college athlete. You know, the book I gift the most is Turning Pro, but I give that to a lot of coaches, even though it's about, it seems like it's about like being an entrepreneur, but it's really about doing the work. I'm going to recommend my own book. I got to stand behind it, The Encyclopedia of Underground Strength, because I give you training information and I talk about, I made it part autobiography, really the obstacles I overcame and case studies of athletes. And I think if you read through my encyclopedia thoroughly and you take the life stuff and blend it with the training stuff, you could apply those lessons for the rest of your life. Let me think of, let's take a look at my bookshelf. Let's take a look. Not that everything here has been, you know, read front to back. A lot of times I kind of go through books in bits and pieces. There you go. There's Turning Pro. The War of Art is really about writing. You know, I feel like Lone Survivor was such a powerful book because of the change, you know, helps you change your frame of reference. Joe DeSena's Spartan Up. I love that book. If you haven't read Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, probably what's a better fit for you, because I love the overcoming of obstacles, would be Arnold's Education of a Bodybuilder. So as a college athlete, college student, would definitely say the Encyclopedia of Underground Strength. You can see here, got a lot of cool books. This tends to be my training area, although it's not all training books. You guys can see here, these are all some very, very old books. A lot of old stuff. A lot of old stuff in here. Picture of my grandparents standing outside of their home in Israel. I wrote about my grandfather in my encyclopedia. My book was dedicated to him. This is some very, very rare stuff, guys. I will admit I've spent a lot less time reading the older books when I really used to read a lot of these older books, and they made a big impact on me. First one that was really great was, you know, The Way to Live, which reproduced as a public domain book. The Russian Line Power Course. Show you some books over here. You know, I love these military books. They fire me up quite a lot. Business books, training books. No Easy Day. That was a great book. I love the military books, guys. They've always been really powerful for me. Here's a book I need to get back to. This was a cool book. Let My People Go Surfing. Look, The Way to Live. Guys, this is a book right here that a lot of people do not have. Okay? And I got this before Hugh Hefner passed away. But this is a powerful book. I think if you guys are trying to learn about business stuff, you're going to really need to dig into No BS books by Dan Kennedy. As you can see, I've got a lot of his books floating around. Very powerful stuff. I used to do a lot of Dan Kennedy books. You can see more books down there, more books everywhere. And I'm not as much of a reading machine as I used to be. I think life is just infinitely busier now than ever before. Between the driving I do, a lot of commuting back and forth to the university, as well as the stuff that I'm doing with my kids. You can see I have so many books, guys. It's just a lot of old stuff that a lot of people don't have. And my knowledge is way beyond stuff that you're just seeing on the internet. So let's get some more questions, guys. I like when you guys get me going. And of course, if I get this audio up on the Strong Life podcast, best thing for you guys to do, go to YouTube or go to ZachEvanish.com. You could see this video that I just gave a little bit of a tour of my library, which I do quite often, actually. If you guys go on ZachEvanish.com and just use the search button and type in books or strength conditioning books or bodybuilding books as the topic, you're going to find videos I've done of favorite books and recommended books that have gone on through the times. What's interesting now is, like, because I drive so much, because I'm so busy, my learning tends to be through the podcasts. It's just kind of the way it is. What else we got, guys? Let's see if I missed anybody. Let's get a last question in here. Anybody got anything left? Nope. All right, guys. Well, that's it, man. Make sure to head on over to ZachEvanish.com. Check out the blogs, videos I'm posting. A lot of stuff that I do over there that you don't see here. Appreciate you guys giving me some time. Talk to you later.